Now, a growing number of brands have started charging customers for returning clothing items purchased online, despite 90% of shoppers thinking it's unreasonable to have to pay to return an item.
Returns costs aside, last week, popular clothing brand PrettyLittleThing came under fire for reportedly banning customers with a high return rate for life,
Wow.
with ASOS previously being accused of doing the same thing.
So, is it right that shoppers are penalised for returning items they've purchased online? And what are your consumer rights when it comes to online returns? Alice Beer joins us now to tell us more. Hi, Alice. For life, they say. They're taking it serious.
And emotions are running high on this. On our Facebook page, people are really feeling, one way or the other, outraged at the thought of having to pay for returns, or no, it's wrong that we are returning so much stuff. So just to put this in context, online returns cost online industry £589 billion in the UK. It is ridiculous. We have got to the stage where we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
And clothing brands are now saying, you know what, you are just enjoying this pile it high, buy it, try it, return it culture. But something's got to give, because 1 in 3 items of clothing is going straight back again. That's where we've got to. And actually, it's squeezing their margins. Now, are our hearts bleeding for these big fashion retailers? Not really. But if it's going to be cost passed on to us,
of course it will,
then we care. And perhaps we need to start caring about the environment, because I'll explain in a minute what the environmental impact is of trying, buying, returning on the scale that we're doing it at the moment. So PrettyLittleThing, as we said, have started charging £1.99 for a return.
OK.
They're joining the likes of Zara, H&M, Sports Direct. Let's see how much they're all charging. So Zara is £2.95, H&M £1.99, Sports Direct £4.99, PrettyLittleThing £1.99 and Shein £2.50. Next and Uniqlo also charge. It's not very much to pay to send something back. And, of course, if you go to the high street shop, if many of these do have high street, you know, bricks and mortar stores, if you take your item there, you don't get charged.
So there'll be no charge at all? As long as you take
no charge if you take it back to the store. And actually, I defy you to spend less than £1.99 driving or getting the bus to a high street, parking, going in there. And actually, interestingly, they've found that you are 85% more likely to buy something else in that store when you return it to the store. So it's good news for the shops if you go into the shop with a return.
You to bring it
because you're going to buy something else. Of course you are. Of course you are. So to the 90% of people who are outraged, I hear you, and we've had this good for a long time. But your consumer rights are that if you buy something in a physical store, you don't have any right to take it back. It's really a goodwill gesture that all our stores say, yeah, we will return it if you have a receipt. We'll do that for you.
If you change your mind.
If you change your mind. They don't have to do that. Online, they do have to return it. But the onus of the postage, the cost of returning it, is on you. And that's the law. OK, so we have had free returns for a long time and we've got used to it, which is why we're so morally outraged about suddenly having to pay for it. So actually, you can return things, but paying a small price to return it, I think probably is right. The reason why it's costing so much is that we've kind of got clothing greed, and people will buy 5 or 6 items. They will really stack things up. Clothing has really lost its value in this country. Does that sound wrong?
No, it's like when you used to save up all your pocket money and then go and get an outfit for going out on a Saturday night, and that's what you do. And the whole experience was
the process
all leading
has
up
changed,
to that.
isn't it?
The process of buying online has changed things. You might buy 5 sizes, and I agree, clothing sizes are very hard to approximate at the moment. Buy now, pay later means that people can fill their baskets and not worry about the consequences of it. People are wearing things and then returning them.
The cost,
that is a huge problem for the stores. They're returning things with makeup on them, returning things smelling of perfume. Honestly, the respect for clothing has gone absolutely down the drain. And if you think about the fact that if you buy in store, there is a 9% return rates, and if you buy online, it's a 30% return rate. It shows you how, when you're looking at something, you're considering something, you're far less likely to return it.
But I think one of the big things, though, is sizing. Katie says, I can appreciate the necessity for shops to charge for returns. However, if the shops would consistently and appropriately size clothes, along with providing an inclusive range within stores, then maybe people may be slightly more inclined to shop in stores. She'd much rather shop in stores to have the ability to try things on. But as a petite plus-size woman, it's almost impossible to do so. High streets are disappearing as well. We really have no choice but to shop online, so I don't think we should be charging for returns. And that's one of the issues. Like, I get it's the same for men's clothes. You get certain brands fit me in a different way. So I know which sizes. But if I see some trousers that I like online and I get them, and they just don't fit because they're too small or maybe they're too big, then I'm going to have to send them back.
Yes, absolutely.
The sizing's key.
But that is the risk you take. And in America, sort of one step ahead of us, they are now being much more creative about lessening those returns in VR, sort of virtual trying on experiences online. Already, if you shop at Zara, they will say, based on your past shopping, things you've kept, they know things you've kept that seem to fit you. Based on that, we know that you'd be taking a size 14 in this or a size 12 in that. So they're trying to help. Also in America, they've started developing things like drive-through drop-offs.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So actually, you are taking it somewhere and dropping it off.
That's a really good
which obviously doesn't help with the sizing, but so many shops now have concessions to other brands. You know, this is one label dress, but I bought it in a high street store. So they've got, 50, 100 different brands under that one high street store. So it's not all going to be the same. So we have to kind of get our heads around it, but also think about fast fashion. They have a very small seasonal opportunity to sell things. Say velvet dresses pre-Christmas. By the time they've sent it out to you, you've tried it on and sent it back to them, they've lost their selling window. So those clothes, if they are under a certain value, will probably end up either in landfill or something that is not environmentally friendly. They have lost their value. So the environmental impact of all of this, cheap, pile it high, buy lots, send it back, is not doing the planet any good, let alone the cost of transporting things backwards and forwards.
There is another point Julie makes, which is sometimes these things are only available online. Some are online retailers. Regardless, they don't have shop fronts. She said they shouldn't be charging for returns because actually there's no shop for me to take it to.
No, but they can, because it is within their right. And if you are buying things and then returning everything, it's costing them a lot of money. So what do you want? The money to go onto every purchase or the people who are abusing the system by buying a lot and then sending it all back and keeping one thing? We've all got to pay for the culture that we have created, I'm afraid. So I do have sympathy for the retailers in this. I know it's irritating, but we've had it good for a long time.
In our poll, we ran a poll on the app and the website. Should shoppers have to pay to return items they've purchased online? 93% say no. Yeah,
absolutely. But if you then look at it, 57% of another poll, which was similar results, said that 57% said it would stop them shopping with that company. So actually, there's a huge proportion who are outraged, but it's not going to stop them shopping with that company.
Right, I say so. It's interesting as well what you said about the high street and how it's chicken and egg, because I feel like loads of shops have disappeared off the high street too. So maybe this is a way of getting the businesses back.
Let me quickly do this right reply for Pretty Little Thing. We did go to them to get some comment on what they've been said, and they said where we notice unusual patterns of activity on customer accounts, we do investigate. In some incidents, this results in us applying our terms and conditions, and this type of action would only affect a tiny percentage of our customer base.
Pretty Little Thing and ASOS have both banned customers in the past.
So if they feel like they're exploiting that...
If they're exploiting the system, or perhaps you've returned something that's got makeup on and they're unable to sell it, they can ban you. It's within their right. I feel like being very pro-retailer, but I do hear you customers. It's annoying, but we've created this and we've got to live with it now.
And we'll end up paying the cost.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Alice. Hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.